important discussion. Nuclear deterrence underpins our national security, and for the last 80 years, it has worked. Our deterrence strategy has also rightfully evolved over time. Back in 2010, when New START was being ratified and we were finalizing our nuclear modernization plans, the geopolitical environment was fundamentally different. All the assumptions made back then, they were wrong. Russia is not a friendly potential partner. China is not a lesser threat. Here's the reality today. Russia has been in noncompliance with the New START since 2022 and continues to hold a massive numerical advantage in tactical nuclear weapons. China is growing its nuclear arsenal, as Admiral Richard likes to say, at breathtaking pace. Both countries are outpacing us in developing novel, destabilizing weapons. Nuclear deterrence only works if our nuclear forces are safe, reliable, and credible. In 2023, the Bipartisan Strategic Posture Commission released its final report. The commissioners unanimously agreed that our current nuclear modernization plans, which are predicated on New START limits, are not sufficient to meet the new threats posed by Russia and China. We cannot allow the credibility of our nuclear deterrent to erode. Admiral Richard, great to see you here today. You were a strong supporter of developing the nuclear sea-launched cruise missile as a response to Russia's overwhelming advantage in theater-range nuclear weapons during your time as commander at STRATCOM. Since that time, this committee has received many reports that Russia and China are building large numbers of new novel nuclear weapons, including a wide variety of theater-range systems. In your view, sir, should we be considering other additional types of weapon systems to enhance deterrence?
Senator, first, I remain in strong support of the sea-launched nuclear cruise missile, and I think events in the time since I retired have borne out why I made that recommendation. It would have been of great utility to us already, and I think it will be the same in the future. But to answer your question, yes, I do think we need to be considering additional capabilities beyond simply supplemental capability of a sea-launched cruise missile. To deter, the threat has to be credible, which means you have to pace the defenses of the states that you're in competition with. So I don't think it's too early to start looking at a nuclear-capable hypersonic weapon for the U.S., an extension of our conventional capabilities in that area. I think in the future that, and there's several others we could discuss, that will be an important addition to maintain our deterrence against Russia and China.
As we look at the number of bombers, the number of submarines that are under production right now, do you think that our sizing of our force is based on deterring the current threat environment? Is that the best strategy we can have on this?
Senator, those numbers were developed back in 2010 timeframe under a very different strategic environment and strategic threat environment specifically. So no, I think the numbers are insufficient on all portions of the triad, particularly on the bomber and the ballistic missile submarine leg. There are additional capabilities that we should consider in addition to the recapitalization of the triad and increasing the capacity inside the triad. One challenge that we face, particularly on the ballistic missile submarine side, is the time it would take to get additional ballistic missile submarines, given the timelines involved in those productions. But the answer to your question is yes, we're going to need more capacity, particularly in the bomber and SL legs.
Thank you. Mr. Morrison, I'll try and do this introduction quickly. But as we approach the expiration of New START, we've seen a number of commentators out there. They're lamenting the end of the agreement. They're predicting a terrifying new chapter in American history due to the end of this treaty. What is notably, I believe, missing from these sentiments is the fact that the department and the intelligence community across the last 3 administrations have assessed that Russia regularly failed to uphold its obligations under the treaty. New START inspectors were temporarily halted during COVID. We've heard about that. Putin has suspended Russia's participation entirely. So, Mr. Morrison, if Russia was not living up to its commitments when New START was enforced, do we think our security situation will be worse without it? Or will the treaties end just give us freedom to effectively respond to Russia's bad behavior and also to realistically acknowledge what China's doing in this regard?
Senator, I think the New START treaty will go out with a whimper. Much has been made about this end of this chapter, but I think it creates an opportunity for the next chapter to look at all nuclear weapons across the nuclear players.
Thank you. And Ambassador, I appreciated your comments to Senator Hirono's questions about the parallel track and the need for that, so we aren't hamstrung trying to deal with Russia and we ignore the threat of China. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Fischer. And let me say I've been rather lax with the gavel on the 5-minute rule, but I'm going to come down hard on Senator Kaine if he violates that.
He knows me from experience, so thank you, Mr. Chair. How about just for each of you,